Two back-to-back winter storms are about to pummel the Midwest and Ohio Valley with heavy snow over the next 72 hours, and what comes after that is even more concerning. We are talking about the coldest air of the season so far plunging south with wind chills that could reach -50 degrees in some locations. This is a dangerous, multifaceted weather event that is going to impact travel, strain power grids, and create life-threatening conditions for anyone caught unprepared. This is not the time to be complacent. In today's forecast, I am going to show you exactly where these two storms are going to track, give you city-by-city snowfall totals so you know what to expect in your area, break down the timeline hour by hour, and then we are going to dive deep into this Arctic outbreak with specific temperature and wind chill forecasts. After that, we will look ahead to what could be a dramatic pattern reversal heading into Christmas week. All right, let's get right into it. The first winter storm is active right now as I am recording this. We have winter weather advisories that stretch from South Dakota all the way through Iowa, central Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, and portions of Virginia. That is a massive area under winter weather alerts. On top of that, the National Weather Service has posted winter storm warnings for Louisville, Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Ohio, where they are expecting the heaviest snowfall. This system is a classic Alberta clipper that dove out of Canada and is now racing southeast across the central United States. The snow is falling right now across portions of Iowa, and it is going to continue to expand south and east as we go through tonight and into Friday morning. Let me walk you through what is happening hour by hour so you understand the timing. By around 8 p.m. tonight, the snow is overspreading Peoria and Springfield, Illinois. Cedar Rapids, Iowa is already seeing moderate snow at this point. Come 9 p.m., Bloomington, Illinois starts to see the heavier bands move in. 10 p.m. tonight, Indianapolis, you are getting into the moderate to heavy snow. Terre Haute, same story. Around 11 p.m. tonight, the snow reaches Louisville. By midnight, Cincinnati starts to see the snow intensity pick up. 1 a.m. Friday morning, Lexington, Kentucky is in the thick of it. 2 a.m. Friday, Columbus, Ohio starts to see steadier snow. By 3 a.m. Friday morning, that snow has pushed into Charleston, West Virginia. Picture here is Friday morning at 8 a.m. Check this out. We have got snow from the Appalachian Mountains back through Kentucky, Indiana, and into Illinois. The Appalachians are doing what they always do, which is wringing out moisture and keeping the heaviest precipitation on the western slopes. This is why the Mid-Atlantic is not going to see much from this first system. By Friday afternoon, the first clipper is exiting. We are down to flurries and some lingering lake-effect snow. But here is where the story gets interesting. A second clipper system is organizing right now over Montana and Wyoming. This thing is going to take a very similar track to the first system, which means areas that just got hit are going to get hit again. Friday evening, that second system is already bringing heavy snow to Rapid City, South Dakota, and portions of Montana. Overnight Friday into Saturday, the snow spreads into western Iowa. By Saturday morning around 8 a.m., Des Moines is seeing steady snow. 9 a.m. Saturday, Cedar Rapids is getting hit again. 10 a.m. That snow is moving into Davenport. Picture here is Saturday at 2 p.m. Look at this band of snow from Chicago down through Indianapolis and over to Columbus, Ohio. This second clipper is really cranking now. The snow rates could be heavy enough to drop visibility to a quarter mile or less in the heaviest bands. By Saturday evening around 7 p.m., Ohio is really getting hammered. Columbus, Dayton, Cincinnati, all seeing moderate to heavy snow. Come Sunday morning around 5 a.m., that snow has pushed into western Pennsylvania, western Maryland, and it is approaching the Interstate 95 corridor. Philadelphia, you start to see snow around 6 a.m. Sunday. New York City, 7 a.m. Sunday morning. By 8 a.m. Sunday, even Boston could be seeing some light snow or flurries. Now let me give you the snowfall numbers because I know that is what everyone is waiting for. I am going to be very specific here city by city so there is no confusion about what you can expect. Starting out west in Montana, where the second clipper originates, we could see 12 to 15 inches or more in some mountain locations. The valleys, 8 to 12 inches. This is heavy snow for Montana. South Dakota. Pierre is looking at 4 to 6 inches total from both systems. Rapid City, 5 to 8 inches. Sioux Falls, 3 to 5 inches. Watertown, 4 to 6 inches. These totals include both clippers combined. Iowa is going to feel both systems. Sioux City, 4 to 7 inches total. I think closer to 6 is likely. Des Moines, 4 to 6 inches. Cedar Rapids, 5 to 7 inches total. Both systems are going to impact you within about 36 hours of each other. Waterloo, 4 to 6 inches. Davenport, 3 to 5 inches. Ames, 4 to 6 inches. You are all getting a double dose of snow. Illinois, this is where we see some of the highest totals. Peoria, 6 to 8 inches combined. I think closer to 8 inches is likely for Peoria with both systems. Bloomington, 5 to 7 inches. Springfield, 5 to 7 inches. Champaign-Urbana, 4 to 6 inches. Rockford, 4 to 6 inches. Chicago, you are looking at 3 to 4 inches total. Some of you in the southern suburbs might pick up closer to 5 inches. The city itself, probably 3 to 4. Some lake effect enhancement could add another inch in spots right off the lake. Moving into Indiana, and this is where the winter storm warning is posted for good reason. Indianapolis, 4 to 6 inches total from both systems. The first clipper gives you 2 to 4 inches. The second one adds another 2 to 3 on top. That is significant accumulation for Indianapolis. Terre Haute, 4 to 6 inches. Fort Wayne, 3 to 5 inches. Evansville, you are far enough south that you might only see 2 to 4 inches total. South Bend, 3 to 5 inches. Muncie, 4 to 6 inches. Ohio is going to see impacts from both systems. Columbus, I think 3 to 5 inches total, probably closer to 5. Dayton, 4 to 6 inches. I wouldn't be surprised if Dayton picks up 6 inches. Cincinnati has a winter storm warning and it is warranted. The first system could bring 3 to 6 inches, then the second system adds another 1 to 3. Total for Cincinnati, 5 to 8 inches. That is a significant snow event. Cleveland, 2 to 4 inches, some of which will be lake effect enhanced. Toledo, 3 to 5 inches. Akron, 2 to 4 inches. Youngstown, 2 to 4 inches. Kentucky. Louisville has a winter storm warning posted. 3 to 5 inches from the first system, another 1 to 2 from the second. Total accumulation for Louisville, 4 to 7 inches. I think closer to 6 is likely. Lexington, 3 to 5 inches total. Bowling Green, 2 to 4 inches. Paducah, 1 to 3 inches. You are far enough south and west to avoid the heaviest. West Virginia is going to see good snow from this. Charleston, 3 to 5 inches combined. Huntington, 3 to 5 inches. The mountains, especially the higher elevations, 5 to 7 inches. Morgantown, 3 to 5 inches. The Appalachians always do better with these systems because of the terrain enhancement. Pennsylvania, western portions get in on this. Pittsburgh, 3 to 5 inches total. Erie, 4 to 6 inches with lake effect enhancement. State College, 2 to 4 inches. Harrisburg, 1 to 3 inches. Philadelphia, 1 to 3 inches from the second system Sunday morning. Reading, 1 to 3 inches. Allentown, 1 to 2 inches. The Interstate 95 corridor sees lighter amounts, but you are not getting skipped entirely. DC, probably just a coating to an inch, maybe locally 2 inches. Baltimore, 1 to 2 inches. Wilmington, Delaware, 1 to 2 inches. New York City, 1 to 2 inches, maybe a local 3 inches in spots. Hartford, Connecticut, trace to 1 inch. Providence, Rhode Island, trace to 1 inch. Boston, probably under an inch for most areas, maybe 1 to 2 inches in some suburbs. And I want to remind you about the lake effect snow machines. These are going to be absolutely cranking behind these systems. Western New York, particularly south of Lake Ontario, and around the Tug Hill Plateau, an additional 12 to 17 inches of lake effect snow. Watertown, you could see 15 to 20 inches total when you add everything up. Syracuse, especially south of the city, 10 to 15 inches. Buffalo, 8 to 12 inches with lake effect enhancement. The southern tier, 6 to 10 inches. Western Michigan gets hammered as well. Grand Rapids, 6 to 10 inches of lake effect possible. Muskegon, 8 to 12 inches. Traverse City, 6 to 10 inches. The Upper Peninsula, particularly north of Marquette, 6 to 10 inches of lake effect snow. These lake effect snows are going to be persistent through the weekend. All right, now we absolutely have to talk about the cold, because this is where the real danger comes in. We are not just talking about cold, we are talking about dangerous, life-threatening cold. The polar vortex has split into two lobes. One is spinning over northern Canada, another is over Asia. A finger of that Canadian lobe is going to extend south into the United States this weekend, and it is going to bring some of the coldest air we have seen all season. Let me walk you through the temperature forecast. I am going to go day by day and city by city so you understand the progression of this cold. Friday morning, December 12th, we are already starting to feel it in the northern plains. Bismarck, North Dakota, -15 degrees. Fargo, -15. Minot, -20. Grand Forks, -20. Williston, -25. Minnesota Friday morning. Duluth is around -10 degrees. Minneapolis, -5. Street cloud, -10. Rochester, 0. International Falls, -15. Bemidji, -15. This is already cold, but it gets worse. Wisconsin Friday morning. Green Bay, -5. Madison, 0. Milwaukee, 5 degrees. La Crosse, -5. Eau Claire, -10. Wausau, -5. Upper Michigan, Marquette is around -5. Houghton, -10. Chicago Friday morning, you are at 10 degrees. Not terrible yet. Rockford, 5 degrees. Peoria, 10 degrees. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 0 degrees. Des Moines, 5 degrees. Sioux City, -5. Omaha, Nebraska, 5 degrees. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, -10. Indianapolis Friday morning, 15 degrees. Fort Wayne, 10 degrees. South Bend, 10 degrees. Columbus, Ohio, 15 degrees. Cincinnati, 20 degrees. Louisville, Kentucky, 20 degrees. You are still on the mild side of this system. Saturday morning, December 13th, the really cold air starts to arrive. North Dakota, widespread -25 to -30 degree temperatures. Bismarck, -25. Fargo, -25 to -30. Minot, -30. Grand Forks, -28. Williston, -30. Dickinson, -28. Minnesota Saturday morning. Duluth, -20. Minneapolis, -15 to -20. Street cloud, -20. Rochester, -15. International Falls, -25. Bemidji, -20. Brainerd, -20. Wisconsin Saturday morning. Green Bay, -15. Madison, -12. Milwaukee, -10. La Crosse, -15. Eau Claire, -18. Wausau, -15. Rhinelander, -20. Upper Michigan, Marquette, -15. Houghton, -20. Chicago Saturday morning, you drop to 0 to -5 degrees. That is a big drop from Friday. Rockford, -10. Peoria, -5. Springfield, Illinois, -5. Bloomington, -8. Cedar Rapids, -10. Des Moines, -12. Sioux City, -15. Omaha, -10. Indianapolis Saturday morning, 0 degrees. Fort Wayne, -5. South Bend, -5. Muncie, 0. Columbus, Ohio, 0 degrees. Dayton, 0. Cincinnati, 5 degrees. Cleveland, 5 degrees. Toledo, 0 degrees. Louisville, 10 degrees. Sunday morning, December 14th. This is the coldest morning. This is when the Arctic air mass is fully in place, and this is when we see the most extreme temperatures. North Dakota, actual air temperatures of -30 degrees or colder are widespread. Bismarck, -30 degrees. Fargo, -30 degrees. Minot, -32. Grand Forks, -30. Williston, -35. Dickinson, -30. Minnesota Sunday morning, this is brutal. Duluth, -25. Minneapolis, -20 to -25. Street cloud, -25. Rochester, -20. International Falls, -30 to -35. Bemidji, -25. Brainerd, -25. Hibbing, -30. Wisconsin Sunday morning. Green Bay, -20. Madison, -18. Milwaukee, -15. La Crosse, -20. Eau Claire, -22. Wausau, -22. Rhinelander, -25. Upper Michigan, Marquette, -25. Houghton, -28. Escanaba, -22. Chicago Sunday morning, -5 to -10 degrees. This is the coldest morning Chicago has seen all season. Rockford, -15. Peoria, -10. Springfield, -10. Decatur, -12. Cedar Rapids, -15. Des Moines, -15. Sioux City, -20. Omaha, -12. Indianapolis Sunday morning 0 degrees. Fort Wayne, -5. South Bend, -5. Muncie, 0. Bloomington, Indiana, 0. Columbus, Ohio, 0 degrees. Dayton, 0. Cincinnati, 5 degrees. Cleveland, 5 degrees. Akron, 0. Toledo, 0. Youngstown, 0. Louisville, Kentucky, 10 degrees. Lexington, 10 degrees. Even further south feels this. St. Louis, Missouri, 5 degrees Sunday morning. Kansas City, 10 degrees. Springfield, Missouri, 10 degrees. Evansville, Indiana, 10 degrees. Paducah, Kentucky, 15 degrees. Nashville, Tennessee, 20 degrees. This cold is reaching far south. Now, if you are wondering how cold it is going to feel outside with the wind, we need to talk about wind chill because this is where frostbite becomes a major concern. The winds are going to be sustained at 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts over 30 miles per hour. This is going to drive wind chills to life-threatening levels. Friday morning wind chills. North Dakota is already at -30 to -40 degrees. Fargo, -35. Bismarck, -30. Minot, -40. Minnesota Friday morning. -20 to -30 degree wind chills. Minneapolis, -20. Duluth, -25. Wisconsin, -15 to -25. Green Bay, -20. Chicago, wind chills around 0 to -5 Friday morning. Not too bad yet, but it is coming. Saturday morning wind chills. This is when things get serious. North Dakota, widespread -35 to -45 degree wind chills. Bismarck, -40. Fargo, -40. Minot, -45. Grand Forks, -40. Williston, -45. This is dangerous cold. Frostbite is possible in under 10 minutes. Minnesota Saturday morning, -30 to -40 degree wind chills. Minneapolis, -30 to -35. Duluth, -35. Street cloud, -35. International Falls, -40. This is life-threatening. Wisconsin Saturday morning, -25 to -35 degree wind chills. Green Bay, -30. Madison, -25 to -30. Milwaukee, -25. Eau Claire, -35. Upper Michigan, -30 to -40. Chicago Saturday morning, wind chills -15 to -20. Rockford, -25. Cedar Rapids, -25. Des Moines, -30. Indianapolis, wind chills around -10 to -15. Columbus, -10 to -15. Cleveland, -10. Sunday morning wind chills. This is the absolute peak. North Dakota, wind chills could drop to -50 degrees or colder in multiple locations. Fargo, -45 to -50. Bismarck, -45. Minot, -50. Grand Forks, -45. Williston, -50 to -55. This is extreme, life-threatening cold. Frostbite can occur in 5 minutes or less. Minnesota, Sunday morning, -40 to -50 degree wind chills. Minneapolis, -40 to -45. Duluth, -40. Street cloud, -45. Rochester, -35. International Falls, -45 to -50. Bemidji, -45. Wisconsin, Sunday morning, -30 to -40 degree wind chills. Green Bay, -35. Madison, -30 to -35. Milwaukee, -25 to -30. La Crosse, -35. Eau Claire, -40. Wausau, -35. Upper Michigan, -35 to -45. Chicago Sunday morning, wind chills -20 to -25. This is dangerous for a major city like Chicago. Rockford, -30. Peoria, -25. Cedar Rapids, -30 to -35. Des Moines, -30 to -35. Sioux City, -40. Indianapolis Sunday morning, wind chills -15 to -20. Fort Wayne, -20. Columbus, Wind chills -15 to -20. Dayton, -15. Cincinnati, wind chills around -10 to -15. Cleveland, -15. Toledo, -15. Even Street, Louis has wind chills around -10 to -15 Sunday morning. Keep in mind, when wind chills get into the -20 to -30 range, frostbite is possible in 15 to 30 minutes. When you get down to -35 to -45, frostbite can occur in 10 minutes or less. In the most extreme areas with wind chills near -50, frostbite can happen in 5 minutes. This is not something to take lightly. Exposed skin can freeze rapidly, but don't be scared. Be prepared. Make sure you have a plan. Stock up on supplies now. Make sure your heating system is working. Have backup heat sources. Check on vulnerable neighbors. If you must go out, cover all exposed skin and limit your time outside to just a few minutes. Let me give you regional breakdowns so you know exactly what you are dealing with in your area. If you are in North Dakota, South Dakota, or northeastern Montana, you are facing the most extreme weather in the entire country. Montana could see 12+ inches of snow. North Dakota and South Dakota, 4 to 7 inches from both systems. Then Sunday morning, actual temperatures -25 to -35 degrees. Wind chills -45 to -55 degrees. This is life-threatening. Do not travel Saturday night through Monday morning unless it is an absolute emergency. Have multiple days' worth of supplies. If you lose power, you need to get to a warm location immediately. This is not survivable in an unheated home. If you are in Minnesota or northern Wisconsin, you are right behind the Dakotas for extreme conditions. Lake effect snow could add another 6 to 12 inches in typical lake effect zones. Sunday morning temperatures -20 to -30 degrees. Wind chills -40 to -50 degrees. Frostbite in under 10 minutes. This is extremely dangerous. Winterize your vehicles. Have emergency kits ready. Avoid all unnecessary travel. Check your heating system now. If you are in Iowa, central Illinois, or southern Wisconsin, total snow accumulations of 4 to 8 inches are likely from both clippers combined. Chicago Metro, 2 to 4 inches. Sunday morning, temperatures drop to -10 to -20 degrees. Wind chills, -25 to -35 degrees. Saturday travel is hazardous because of snow. Sunday morning is dangerous because of extreme cold. Stock up on supplies. Avoid going out Sunday morning if possible. If you are in the Ohio Valley, specifically Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, you are looking at 4 to 8 inches of total snow in a corridor from Indianapolis through Cincinnati. Columbus and Dayton, 3 to 6 inches. Louisville, 4 to 7 inches. After the snow, Sunday morning temperatures drop to 0 to 10 degrees. Wind chills -10 to -20 degrees. This is well below zero for areas that rarely see that. Make sure pipes are insulated. Have backup heating plans. Check on elderly neighbors who might need help. If you are in West Virginia or Western Pennsylvania, 3 to 6 inches of snow total with higher amounts in the mountains. Pittsburgh, 3 to 5 inches. Sunday morning lows in the single digits with wind chills near 0 to -10 degrees. Cold enough to freeze pipes and cause heating issues. Make preparations now. For those along the Interstate 95 corridor from Washington, D.C. up through Boston, you are looking at light snow Sunday morning, generally 1 to 3 inches. Sunday morning temperatures in the teens and 20s with wind chills in the single digits to teens. You are the least impacted region but still below average and cold enough to cause issues. All right, now let's talk about what happens after this Arctic outbreak, because the pattern is about to undergo a major transformation. This right here is the story of our meteorological winter so far. We have been locked in this pattern with a persistent trough over the eastern United States, bringing cold and active weather while the west has been warm and dry under a ridge. That pattern is about to completely flip. After this weekend's Arctic blast, a massive ridge is going to build over the western United States and then spread east across the entire country. By the middle of next week, December 15th, 16th, and 17th, we start to see that western ridge flex its muscles and push milder air into the central United States. There is a brief thaw coming midweek. Now, between December 18th and 20th, watch for another potential shot of cold and possibly another winter storm. Another piece of the polar vortex could dip south, bringing cold and snow to the Midwest and Great Lakes. Both the GFS model and the European model are showing this feature. This could be a significant system if it materializes. but confidence is only moderate this far out, so we will have to watch the trends. Then we get into Christmas week, and the pattern completely flips. A strong, powerful ridge dominates the weather pattern across much of the United States. Get ready for what I believe is going to be the great thaw of December 2025. Temperature anomalies could be 20 to 30 degrees above average, possibly more in some locations, across the eastern United States by Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Look at this temperature swing. Sunday, December 14th, temperature anomalies are 40 to 45 degrees below normal across the Midwest and Ohio Valley. By December 23rd and 24th, those same areas could be 25 to 30 degrees above normal. That is a temperature pattern swing of 65 to 75 degrees. Some cities that see -20 on Sunday morning could be in the mid-40s by Christmas Eve. That is an incredible flip, son. A weather roller coaster like we have not seen in a while. The Climate Prediction Center 8 to 14-day outlook is already picking up on this. Above-average temperatures are likely across much of the eastern two-thirds of the country heading into Christmas week. Below-average precipitation for the southeast and east coast, which means a dry pattern for many of you. It is not going to be bone dry, but precipitation is going to be below normal. The Pacific Northwest, you continue to get hammered. Storm after storm rolling in off the Pacific with heavy rain at lower elevations and heavy mountain snow. The Cascades, Sierras, Northern Rockies, all going to see feet of additional snow over the next 2 weeks. Canada from British Columbia all the way to Quebec is going to see significant winter weather. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, all getting frequent shots of cold and snow. Looking further ahead into January, the pattern evolves again. A persistent trough looks to set up over Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. This provides a cold air source for the Northwest United States. Meanwhile, a ridge likely establishes itself over the southern United States and southeast, bringing milder than average conditions to those regions for much of January, but winter is not over. The Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Northeast will still see winter storm potential as systems dive southeast out of Canada along the polar jet stream. So to wrap everything up, here is what you need to know. 2 clipper systems bring accumulating snow to the Midwest and Ohio Valley Thursday night through Sunday morning. Total accumulations of 4 to 8 inches, likely from Iowa through central Illinois into Indiana, 3 to 6 inches for Ohio and Kentucky. Montana could see 12+ inches. Lake effect adds 12 to 17 inches in western New York and western Michigan. Behind the snow, life-threatening cold arrives with Sunday morning temperatures -20 to -30 degrees across the northern plains and upper Midwest. Wind chills could reach -45 to -55 degrees in the most extreme locations. Frostbite is possible in 5 to 10 minutes. Between December 18th and 20th, another potential winter storm and cold shot for the Midwest and Great Lakes. Then Christmas week brings a dramatic pattern flip with the great thaw of December 2025. Temperature anomalies 25 to 30 degrees above normal are possible by Christmas, with some locations seeing temperature swings of 70 degrees from Sunday to Christmas. If you have travel plans this weekend, seriously consider postponing them. The combination of snow followed by life-threatening cold is going to create extremely hazardous conditions. If you absolutely must be outside Sunday morning in the northern plains or upper Midwest, limit your exposure to just a few minutes and make sure every bit of skin is covered. Have emergency supplies? Check your heating systems. Look out for your neighbors. If you are excited about the warm-up coming for Christmas week, let me know in the comments down below. If you are disappointed and want cold and snow for Christmas, let me know that too. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one.